Alright, hello, we are back. And we're fine. We made it out of the Apex card. It's all behind us now. We don't have to watch any slop for the foreseeable future. I think for the next 3 weeks, we are fine. There's no Apex in sight. Just be thankful for the cards we have. I swear to God, if the UFC start making Fight Night cards just Apex, I'm not watching it. Like, I'll actually protest that. Alright, this is 314, Volkanovski versus Lopes. These are just going to be my breakdown and predictions of each fight. I just want to say before I get into this video, I do not condone any form of betting. Don't do it. There's no positives, only negatives. And it will negatively affect you in the long run. Please don't do it. There's better things to do. Like painting. Alright, let's get to these fights and break them down. Bear with me for a second. Nora Canole versus Haley Cohen. I'm gonna go with Haley Cohen for this fight. I'm not too impressed. I'm not too hooked on Nora Canole yet. I feel like Haley Cohen has enough strength to either rock her bad or hold her on the ground and just kind of boringly get a decision. But I do see Haley Cohen taking this fight, so I'm going to say Haley Cohen by either we'll just say decision. Haley Cohen by decision. Trayshawn Gore versus Marco Tulio. Trayshawn Gore has been kind of put right in the middle of UFC recently. I'm not too sold on him yet. He probably could beat Marco Tulio, but I'm not hooked on him yet. I feel like Marco Tulio has enough skill and punching power to knock him out. So I'm gonna go Marco Tulio rounds 1 or 2 KO. I just feel like, better record, same height, but probably a bit taller. I just feel like Marco Tulio is the more impressive. So moving on. Sumar Dereji versus Mitch Raposo. I don't know. I'm going to go with Mitch Raposo for this fight. Sumar Dereji has a lot of hype behind him right now, but I personally don't see it. And I feel like he's a long-range striker, but he has zero power. Now, bear in mind, I could eat me words, but I'm going to say Mitch Raposo by either decision or maybe a submission. Let me just check again. I could see him knocking him out. I can see him knocking him out. Sumar Dereji is tall for the division, so I can see him being a bit chinny. I'm gonna go with Mitch Raposo by either decision or knockout. Moving on. Cedric Dumas versus Michael Oleksiejczuk. Michael Oleksiejczuk. Jesus. I'm gonna go with Michael Oleksiejczuk for this fight. I just feel Michael is the more powerful and good striker of the two. I feel like you probably chin him within the first. No, I'm not gonna say the first 2 rounds. I'm gonna say rounds 2 or 3. I think he chins him in rounds 2 and 3. I'm not too impressed by Cedric, but who knows? Maybe he can surprise me. But right now, I'm gonna go with Michael Oleksiejczuk. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Moving on. This is the prelims, I believe. That was the early prelims. Yeah. Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. I think me and everyone included would say you'd be a fool for picking Darren Elkins, logistically wise, because Julian Erosa is coming off some of his best wins. But I just have that gut feeling, you know what I mean? Everything in my mind is telling me pick Julian Erosa, but I have a gut feeling Darren Elkins is going to pull something out of his ass here. I really do think he's going to fluke it. So I'm going to go with Darren Elkins. Probably decision or knockout. Let me see. Yeah. I can, maybe. I don't know. Probably more likely decision. But I can really see Darren Elkins fluking it. So I'm going to go with Darren Elkins. Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. This is on paper, this is a mismatch, but for both, it's a very, really good fight for either of them. I feel like it's going to show It's not going to show how old Jim Miller is, because we know he's old, but he still performs really well. This is more of a test for Chase Hooper to see if he has elite grappling in the UFC. I would love to pick Jim Miller, but I really rate Chase Hooper, so I'm going to go with Chase Hooper. So I'm going to go Chase Hooper, probably submissions round 2 or 3. I can really see Jim starting to get tired. So I'm going to go with Chase Hooper, submission rounds 2 or 3. Yan Xiaonan versus Virna Jandiroba. A lot of people are sleeping on Yan Xiaonan. She's coming off one of her best wins of her career against, I think it was Tabatha Ricci. And she just went 5 rounds with Wei Li Zhang. And hanged in there, showed amazing grit. I'm going to go with Yan Xiaonan, rounds 2 or 3 KO. I really feel like she'll probably get the better of the striking. But in the grappling, I feel like Virna Jandiroba will probably be more likely to stall against defense. And I don't rate that, but I'll just count it as like a way to win. I can see her stalling against the cage and getting the win. But I feel like if there are any breaks, you know, because we've seen recently refs are getting very generous with the breaks now. And I support that. I love that. Do it more. Do it against JDM and Bilal, please. I beg, but not my goat Marab. Leave him alone. There's no need for breaks for him. He's the goat. Alright, I'm going to go Yan Xiaonan, knockouts round 2 or 3. I just feel like she's the more powerful striker. So moving on. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. I do not rate Sean Woodson. I feel like he's a weight bully, and I feel like it's about to catch up to him. I feel like Dan Ige is going to chin him, because I think a 6'2", at featherweight, you're gonna just be drained. So I'm gonna go with Dan Ige, knockout rounds 2 or 3. I just feel like Dan Ige can chin him. Moving on. Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. This is a fight I'm really excited for. Dominic Reyes is coming off like a decent winning streak after like a really bad phase of his career after that John Jones loss. That wasn't a loss, it was really a win, but he got robbed. Let's just be real. He won that fight. No one thinks he lost that fight. I personally had it 4-1. Nikita Krylov, he looks good in every one of his fights, but always finds some way to either not knock the other person out or get a decision. I'm going to go with Dominic Reyes. I trust in his newfound fire in his heart to like really push through and get this one done. So I can see Dominic Reyes either a decision or a knockout in rounds 2 or 3. I can really see that. Now, of course, Nikita Krylov can chin him at any point. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm just saying I trust Dominic Reyes more to get the win. I've seen a lot of people go against Nikita Krylov, but I'm personally, Dominic Reyes, he's looking good, Moving on. This one is controversial. And I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying what I'm going to say. I would love to say John Silva knocks out Bryce Mitchell. I would love that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing more that I want to see is this man get knocked out Josh Emmett style again for the shit he's saying. But I feel like this fella is like kind of mentally ill. So I'm not going to go into it. I just feel like, so it could be some sort of CTE. Don't judge him too harshly. He hasn't hurt anybody. He just said shit. He said horrendous shit. But I feel like it's just mental illness. So I can't really, I feel bad. Like it's like, one of them. But I do trust in his fighting ability. I can really see Bryce Mitchell taking down John Silva and submitting him. I don't know what it is. I've seen training footage of John Silva. He seems very easy to take down. And I do rate Bryce Mitchell's grappling. I will say though, if it goes onto the feet with longer than 2 minutes at a time, John Silva's knocking him out. Like if it stays on the feet and John Silva is able to get his range and all sorted out and get in for like a powerful shot and actually land one, I'm sorry, Bryce Mitchell is just going to sleep. But I trust in Bryce Mitchell to instantly, first second of the fight, shoot a double leg. Or shoot a single leg. So I'm going to say Bryce Mitchell gets the submissions round 2 or 3, I'd say. Alright. Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. This is the long-awaited UFC debut of Patricio Pitbull. There's a lot of debate Sorry to slur my words there. There's been a lot of debate on how far he'd make it in the UFC. And this is a tough first fight they're giving him. This is unbelievably tough. Yair Rodriguez, not like the best fighter in the division, but stylistically, for Patricio Pitbull, probably one of the hardest fights he could have took. A long, rangy, tall striker that can keep his distance, but is actually good at like people coming into the pocket. He's very good at like counter striking when people enter his range. So I'm, as much as the odds are against him, and it seems like everything's in favour of Yair Rodriguez, I do rate Patricio Pitbull. I feel like he will find a way to overcome this, and I feel like he is championship level material. Now bear in mind, he is 38, but he looked good in his last fight, so I'm going to just go off that. So I'm going to go Patricio Pitbull probably by knockout rounds 2 or 3. I feel like it'll probably take him a second to get used to the range and the height of Rodriguez, but I do feel he'll find the mark and hit a good overhand, or even take him down, who knows. So I'm going to go Patricio Pitbull rounds 2 or 3. Notice how I haven't said any decisions this card, or like if I have, it's only like 2. Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Now, I do not see why people are suddenly hyping up Michael Chandler. It was a very exciting fight with Oliveira, don't get me wrong, but he got his ass whooped. He made it exciting, but he got his ass whooped. You know what I mean? He got outstruck by Oliveira. Like, don't get me wrong, Michael Chandler is a clear top-level fighter, but it's like people are going like a bit overboard because he like did like a backdrop or something to Charles Oliveira. It's a bit too much. And I do rate Paddy Pimblett. I do think he's a sleeper in this division. I feel like he's learning as he fights. He's fighting higher and higher level competition. And I do rate his jiu-jitsu and his grappling. But I do also rate his boxing. His boxing looked really good against the Bobby Green fight. I feel like Paddy Pimblett might chin Michael Chandler in this fight. Like, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, Paddy's going to just, like, wait for Chandler to come in and get, like, a surprise triangle or a guillotine. But I really do see Paddy surprisingly hitting, like, either a knee or a straight right that just clocks Michael Chandler in the, like, temple. I can see Michael Chandler going to sleep or, like, a early TKO. I'm going to go with Paddy Pimblett rounds 2 or 3 knockout, even though it's a 5-round fight. I know it's a 5-round fight. Rounds 2 or 3 KO, I really do trust in Paddy Pimblett to get this done. Yeah, that's about it, yeah. Alright, moving on. Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. This upsets me. As you could see by the thumbnail, I'm crying. I'm crying because of this fight. Because I always said, now bear in mind, this was before I even made the channel, but like people would tell you, but who the fucking people would tell you? Oof. I would say, I've always said Diego Lopes was like a future star in the division, but I also was the biggest Alexander Volkanovski fan. Before Merab, of course. Before Merab, don't worry. I still have loyalty. Volkanovski was like one of my favourite fighters, and now it's like seeing his last like 3 performances, it's heartbreaking. Genuinely heartbreaking. Because you could just see him slowly losing it. And I don't mean like, the only fight you could say he looked bad was the second Islam fight. But the Topuria fight, he looked good. He was winning the scorecards. He won round 1 in my opinion. But he just got clipped. It happens. And it's going to happen again because he's getting older. You can't reverse a chin going. Like, once a chin is gone, it's gone. You can't stop it. So I'm going to go with Diego Lopes chinning him in rounds 2 or 3. Now, I know I've said 2 or 3 a lot, but it's just what I see. I can really see Diego Lopes like hurting him in round 1 and then finishing the job in rounds 2 or 3. I feel bad about saying it, but it's just how I feel. You know? It's like, what can you do? Like, if Volkanovski wins, I'll get my pick wrong, but I will celebrate. Don't get me wrong, I will celebrate my ass off. I'll be busting open the like every single celebration fucking trick I know. This is sound bad. I'm trying not to say like any alcohol related terms because apparently YouTube doesn't like that. But I will celebrate with a box of chocolates. Why not? Because I'm, So win-win if I say Diego Lopes, because I'll get me pick right, but I'll feel happy if Volkanovski wins. It'll be a feel-good moment, you know what I mean? It's like this is a Rocky. Honestly, Volkanovski right now, it's like watching a Rocky movie. It's like everyone's cheering for him, but like he's so against the odds, you know what I mean? If he wins dominantly, I'm literally going to start bawling, because it would be the most inspirational thing I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah, those were my picks for 314. I'm trying to keep these videos nice and short for all you. I think I got it under 17 minutes, so that's good. This is my shortest video, so let's see how this performs. So, yeah, I'll see you all next time. Let me know in the comments what picks you agree and disagree with. And just tell me if I'm either full of shit or something. I don't mind. Be honest, that's the main thing. See you all next time. This is a fun card. I hope you all enjoy it. I know I will. Well, if it's not like boring decisions. I'll stop yapping. Alright, see ya. Sorry, this is a little bonus rant. After I've completed my predictions, I went and looked at other popular creators' predictions just to see if people agreed with me. I did not expect... I know I try keep my videos short, but an hour and a half? For a whole bunch of yapping? And I was like, I'm looking at MMA Guru, and I was looking at Bedtime. Bedtime had like a half an hour one, so that's alright. Then I saw Demetrius Johnson, and then I looked through it, right? Hold on, I have to get through this goddamn ad. Bear with me. I looked through Demetrius Johnson's picks. I was like, 20 minutes, that's not too bad. But he only does 4 fights. He yapped for 20 minutes about 4 fights. I got the whole card done in 5 minutes less. These goddamn people yap too much. And I know that's half the reason why people watch them. But Jesus, condense the information for the people in under a goddamn 10 minutes and then yap. Don't just yap, keep going. People are just going to skip through. That's what I do. I don't listen to these people yap about their life story or how they know these fighters for 17 million years. Say it in each fight should get a minimum 1 minute to 3 minute dialogue. Not this 5 minutes of just going over, let's go over the last 5 fights. Oh, yeah. Let's break it down piece by piece. In this one instance, Paddy Pimblett twerked on another man. I'm not interested. Just say what the strengths are, and then just go on with it. Yap at the end. I'm tired of this. Wasting my life watching these videos. Wasting it is. And it's wasting other people's time as well. Condense the knowledge. Condense it. Oh my god. Alright, that's the rant over. I just had to get that out there. It's annoying. It's annoying.